Measurement in science involves generating data, which requires turning variables of interest into numbers. Studying thought, emotion, and behavior in living creatures offers many options for data collection, and each of these has their challenges. Physical measures, like body weight and temperature, can be collected with simple measurement devices. Some biological variables, like heart rate and neuronal density, are hidden within the body, so require special equipment for detection. Psychological constructs, like memory ability and helping behavior, are tricky to measure since they're more abstract and can't be observed directly, so researchers must be clear about how they're measuring these variables. The first step in research is defining a construct, which is a clear definition of a concept being studied. Constructs allow people to create labels for abstract ideas that can't be directly measured. This helps clear up potential confusion because words mean different things to different people. Let's look at a construct we're familiar with from everyday life: intelligence. You can't determine someone's intelligence just by looking at them. So what variables do you think constitute intelligence? How can this best be measured? Take a minute to think about this and write down your answers. In 1921, the leading scholars in intelligence research, including giants like Terman, Thurston, and Thorndike, were asked these same questions, and although there was overlap in their definitions, they couldn't come up with a consensus. Over 6 decades later, after widespread use of standardized IQ tests, leading intelligence scholars tried again, with big names like Sternberg, Gardner, and Horn contributing to this discussion. Again, despite overlap in their definitions, there wasn't strong agreement on what variables contribute to intelligence. So where does this leave us? If scholars who study intelligence can't agree on a definition, is it even possible to study it scientifically? The answer is yes, as long as the construct is clearly defined and there's a feasible way to measure it. An operational definition is a description of a variable in terms of how it is measured. Let's look at an example. In social psychology, the construct of aggression is defined as behavior that's deliberately intended to cause harm. Of course, this can apply to many situations, behaviors, and species. So what can we use to tap into this construct? There are many ways to measure aggression, and the choice of operational definition will vary depending upon the needs of the study and the well-being of the participants. In Albert Bandura's famous beat-up Bobo experiment, children watched an adult interact with an inflatable clown doll, either aggressively or non-aggressively. Then afterward, they counted clearly defined aggressive acts in the children, including imitative physical and verbal aggression, aggression with a toy mallet, punching Bobo, non-imitative aggression, and aggressive gunplay. They analyzed boys and girls separately, as shown in the table. From this and other research, Bandura clearly demonstrated that children copy aggression they see in adults. But do adults also mimic adult aggression? How can we measure their aggression in the lab? This study looked at the influence of violent video game exposure on aggression in undergraduate students. They were randomly assigned to 2 groups. One played 10 minutes of PGA golf, while the other 10 minutes of the fighting game Mortal Kombat. After this, they competed in an online reaction time task with a computerized opponent who they thought was real. The winner of each trial punished the other with white noise, delivered through headphones. The game was rigged so the computer won first and punished the student participant. The dependent variable was the aggressive behavior of the actual participant against the opponent, measured as the mean noise intensity they chose as punishment, as well as the number of punishing high-intensity blasts. To give an idea of the violence and gore in the experimental condition, this is a screenshot of gameplay on Mortal Kombat. Note the player review indicates that the kill zones are a sight to behold. This is a screenshot of gameplay from PGA Golf, which is pretty chill in comparison. These figures show the aggressive behavior on the reaction time revenge task. Mean values for the non-violent control condition are shown in white, while the experimental violent game condition is shown in dark gray. The authors separated males and females as indicated on the bottom. Based upon the mean noise intensity, shown on the left, or the mean number of high-intensity blasts, shown on the right, all participants retaliated against their computerized opponent. But this was more pronounced in those that played Mortal Kombat compared to PGA Golf. The gray bars are taller than the white ones. However, there's also a pronounced gender difference in that males were much more sensitive to violent game exposure compared to female participants. This study and others from this research group showed that adults will copy aggressive behavior they're exposed to, like children. The construct of aggression as a behavior that intentionally causes harm fits Bandura's Beat Up Bobo and Anderson's Mortal Kombat experiments, but they use different operational definitions to measure it. Test yourself. Create a definition for the construct of memory. Create an operational definition that could be used in a study of human participants. Defining constructs, variables, and operational definitions is an important first step in conducting research. If done badly, it affects the foundation of the entire study.